Does being a human feel completely unnatural to you at times? Well, you're weird for feeling that way and you shouldn't feel that way. Just kidding. We all feel that way. We all are a mess, including me. Again, embrace the mess. Mindful-ish. We're never completely mindful. Let's let go of that idea of perfection and include the ish because that's just as important as the mindful piece of things. Welcome back, friends, to Mindful-ish with Laura. Do you feel empty inside? Are you lacking fulfillment in your life? Do you constantly move through the day feeling as if there's this emptiness, this hole, this complete and utter missing piece to life? Well, that sucks for you. Just kidding. We all feel that way. I think in some way, we all feel as though there's something missing. There's something we're working towards, and sometimes we rush it and we forget to be present in that process. We're so focused on a goal, a task, getting through something, that by the end of it all, we're on our deathbed and probably wishing we'd taken a step back. So, even when it comes to simple things like recording these videos, sometimes I find it difficult to feel as though I have something to offer or to say. And I think many of us can feel that way. Not even when it comes to recording stuff for social media, but just in our relationships, in our professional life, we start to doubt ourselves. Maybe you've heard of imposter syndrome, this idea that it's like we believe deep down that we are incompetent, that someone is going to find us out, that we have nothing to offer. And we get in this headspace of losing ourselves. It becomes so much about meeting others' expectations and the demands of life and work and parenting and all these parts of us that are important and we value. And yet there is this internal self that requires love and compassion and awareness as well. And that's why I love yoga so much, because it gives me and others space to slow down. So much of life is quick, man. I mean, even social media, it's fast, it's scrolling, it's one video after another, it's this constant stimulation. And I think in many ways we've gotten to where a lack of stimulation feels unnatural. So it is about finding ways to regulate ourselves, to regulate our nervous system. I don't know about you all, but for me, it's like I can get stuck in this thinking mind where it's like I'm problem solving, I'm thinking about the next thing, what do I need to accomplish? And I need to be more in my being mind, where I'm tuning in to the experiences through my senses. I'm tuning in to the present moment, whether that's through grounding techniques, whether that's through breathing exercises, something to kind of zoom back in to the present. So thinking mind versus being mind. They both have their place. They both serve their purpose. I myself am trying to get into this more being mind space, because if I think too damn hard about anything, it can feel impossible, just like making this video. I'm sitting down and I'm doing it, but damn, the lead up can feel like, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? What am I going to talk about? What's the point of any of this? Normal human experiences. Today, I'm going to show you a couple ways that I kind of, for myself, slow down, regulate, check myself into the present to get out of here and just make life a little easier, a little more calm. And, this may be helpful for you. It may not. There's a ton of skills and ways of kind of slowing down, checking in, being more present. But I love to share kind of what's worked for me and what's worked for clients. Take it or leave it. But I'm glad that you're here. Welcome back. And welcome back to me for showing up. And let's get into it. So let's just start out just with something simple. So Imagine that you are dealing with something stressful. What do you notice? What do you observe happening? Whether that's within the mind, within the body, or are you even able to observe what's happening? Many of us can identify, well, when I'm really anxious, my heart rate speeds up, my palms sweat. Maybe we notice kind of rumination or obsessing over the same thoughts, the same worries over and over and over. All of this just shows how much we get wrapped up, right? We get tangled up. We get very much tangled into these realities that haven't actually occurred yet. So they are not based on reality at all, but man, we are good at creating realities in our mind. So we've got to be able to first practice observing when that's happening, being able to almost be like a fly on the wall and recognizing from afar what's happening within. When do we need to be able to pull in these skills? Can we recognize the difference between when we're at a 6 stress level versus, a 9.5? The more we can practice just noticing, that's step 1. Observing and noticing and being able to be aware of how our internal system kind of handles stress. Very important step in this. So that can look different for many people, but I think getting in this habit of imagining I'm a fly on the wall, I am an observer of my own experiences, it does kind of it gets us untangled a bit to where we're not so latched on to where an emotion or a thought completely defines us. So observing, noticing, being able to kind of describe without judgment what's happening internally, because we beat ourselves up so much that we don't even recognize we're doing it. So again, right, just practicing noticing what's happening within, what's happening with our breathing patterns, our thought patterns, being able to identify what emotion we might be feeling at any given moment. All of this matters. And why does it matter? Because unless we can identify that a problem exists, unless we can be aware that something needs to change, we're not going to be able to implement this stuff in the first place. So, observing our experiences. Another really helpful, easy, you can do it anywhere, this idea of grounding. So being able to kind of check in to the external world, being able to touch and feel and see and grasp what's happening now so we can get untangled, right? Because we get so tangled up internally. And that really just looks like, a popular one is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, kind of using your senses. So you might observe and describe 5 things that you can see in your surroundings. And you don't have to do that out loud. If you're alone and you want to, or if you're with friends or whatever, you can say it internally. 5 things that you can observe in the room. 5 objects, or people, or animals, or whatever it might be. Again, right, it kind of checks you into the moment by just noticing details that maybe you wouldn't otherwise notice. It's important. So identifying 5 things you can see. I really like to do the 4 things being things that you can touch, you can feel. I can feel, the floor beneath me. I can feel the temperature of the floor. I can feel my hair on my shoulders. I can feel a slight little cool breeze coming from underneath the doorway. Sensation, body, grounding ourselves to the now. I can observe the sensation of breathing. So, first we notice what we see, then we notice what we feel. You can go through the other ones. So, what can I hear? Identifying 3 sounds I can pick out around me. Maybe one close by, maybe one farther in the distance. Moving on, smell and taste can be a little more tough, but if you're in a busy restaurant, somewhere where there are really fragrant smells, it is important to just tune into the smells, tune into that sensation, using our senses. And taste may just be the taste of saliva or coffee that you just drank. But again, big picture, it's about being here. in the here and the now. Because in reality, that's all there is. These realities we create in our mind just causes more stress. So 5 senses grounding, fantastic. And it kind of requires you to pause, right? To put some effort and some intention into working that muscle, zooming out, being more present in what's happening and less present in our anxieties, our worries, all the things that go on internally. Another great one that I love is just pairing breath with movement. So what does this look like? I mean, it might look a little silly if you're like in the middle of an office, waving your arms and breathing. But if you have an office door that you can close, or just getting in the habit of doing it at home. So inhaling as we rise, exhaling as we lower. Just pairing breath and movement. It can even be something that's less noticeable, so it can be a shoulder roll, right? So inhaling as we rise, exhaling as we lower. Right? Just simplifying breath and movement, pairing our breathing with our movement, slowing our breathing down, right? Because we're going to intentionally become more aware of how our breathing pattern pairs with that movement. I mean, if you even did that for 1 minute, if you set a timer on your phone for 1 minute, just breath and movement paired together, or if you have a watch, you'll notice that heart rate starts to go down. You'll notice that you start to feel a little softer, a little more grounded to the moment. Small steps, little things that we can begin to incorporate. Another great one is just tuning in, kind of like a body scan, to where if I notice, right, that I'm tensing my shoulders toward my ears, putting some intention into being aware. Practicing observing, tension within the face, within the jaw, between the eyebrows. Just becoming aware of tension is going to lead to us intentionally relaxing. And so we start to become more aware of how we hold our body when we're stressed, and how can we intervene and create some softness, create some mind-body connection. Many of us, hold in our core very tight without realizing it. We hold a lot of tension in our hips. So just becoming aware of the body, shifting around, again, it gets us untangled from in here, gets us more present in what's happening now, and creates more bodily awareness over time. So you will quickly start to notice when you're holding tension and how to intervene. Small steps. I hate the idea of we have to change everything all at once. We don't. It is the smallest changes that I think lead to fulfillment and lasting meaning, and create this room for potential for what things can be, rather than these huge goals that just feel impossible to achieve. So whether it's anticipating an interview coming up, whether it's just struggling to put our feet on the floor in the morning because life can suck so much of the time, whatever it may be, but get in the habit, right? Grounding, breathing and movement, becoming aware of tension, observing our own internal experiences with compassion, with curiosity, wanting to understand it from a different perspective. Because this whole mess in here is all we got. It's all we got. We're stuck with it, but we do have some power to make small changes, and that's cool. So, mindful-ish, right? I appreciate you for joining me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but who does? Who does? Thank you.